What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday, TGIF. Definitely glad to be here. My name is Coach Brian King. I'm your host. We're doing a brand new show called Fixing the Trading Thing. Let me ask if this applies to you. Are you tired of struggling and losing trades? Come on, answer the question. Are you seeking to get a solution to fix this? Are you willing to fix the trading thing? Because let's be very real, ladies and gentlemen, in this group of Connect, Trade, and Grow with Kingdom Day Traders, we want you to be able to fix the trading thing so that you can get consistent, so you can think about the idea of leaving your job, so that you can start to build that 401k, those retirement accounts, the whole nine. So if you're with me and you can hear me clearly, please put a 7 in the chat or just say that I am here. Now, in today's show, we're going to be going over some topics. I'm going to give you guys a survey, but first, I'm going to actually show you something on gold that I'm seeing right now. I'm going to look at it from an institutional perspective. We're going to get on the charts as well, but we're going to be identifying the root causes of losing trades. Just type that in the chat if that makes some sense to you. And then also, I want to kind of show you an advanced retail strategy that you can use right now to enhance your trading success. Just let me know if that sounds good. Now, in this group, we're going to be doing expert advice, giving perspective, and we're going to be showing you more than we're actually talking. Is that okay? So here's the only thing that I ask from you is if I'm teaching and this is making sense, can you be okay just to kind of clap me up, say, Coach, I'm understanding, Coach, I'm tracking with you, because that kind of gives me the energy to know what's going on. Now, I want to say this as well. Don't let losing trades hold you back any longer. There has to get to the point that you tell yourself, I'm willing to do whatever it takes so that I can be successful in these markets. So quickly, I want to look at gold. Is that okay? Let's look at gold. I'm going to pull gold up on the stream. Again, if you can see this clearly, type gold in the stream, and that way I can know if you're tracking with me. Okay. So I'm looking at gold and we're looking at a 4 hour time frame. And what I'm wanting to do, right? Let me just go and remove this and I can just add it back. I'm looking at this candle. So if you can, let me know if you're tracking with me, please. I'm seeing that this is a big institutional candle, which I have marked up with the yellow circle, and I'm looking at this candle right now. Now, one thing when you're looking at candles, and this is technical analysis, is that you want to be very aware of the structure of the candle. So please track with me, please. Let me know if this is making some sense. Candles speak a language, and you need to be able to understand that. So watch this. I'm going to draw out a zone right here. And in this zone, I'm really paying attention to the zone because this zone is saying a lot, okay? Now, we're on the 4 hour time frame, and on the 4 hour time frame, each candle represents 4 hours. Okay, so track with me a little bit. This is 4, 8, 12. Come on, 16, 20. So when I just look in this area right here, there was a bunch of rejection going on. Okay, so let me just kind of type that into the chat for you. Rejection. Okay. Now, when I talk about rejection, one thing that we do need to pay attention to is that if it's getting rejected, what should I look to do? Is this making sense, everybody? So some people are just jumping in trades because they hope it goes up, they hope it goes down, and they don't know how to adjust to what's going on. Now, one of the things that we're going to be teaching about in this specific group, and then for our mastermind and premium students, we're going to learn how to trade from zone to zone. Track with me, please. From zone to zone. Very, very important. So, if this is selling going on, the opposite of that is I want to find out where there's buying going on. Does that make sense? So, I'm looking at this area at the bottom right here. Gotcha. And then I'm going to color that in green. Okay. And it kind of gives me a range of what I need to pay attention to. Now, as we learn how to do this, there's also zones within zones. Zones within zones. Type that down, please. Zones within zones. And so, as a trader, before I make decisions, I have to look at all the different angles and I have to decide what's going to be the greatest probability. So, watch this. I'm going to actually clone this. And the software that I'm using is TradingView. So, again, if you guys are in this group, you're wanting to learn, TradingView is going to become your best friend. Yep. Doesn't cost anything to use TradingView. I do pay for the paid version because I don't like pop-up ads coming on. I don't know if you guys are, some of those ad people, but I do understand that they got to make money, so I respect that. Now, let me just play a game of probability, and I'm just going to draw an arrow down. Is it probable that this candle can hit this area? Now, talk to me in the chat if you're here. I'm going to check on my phone, so I'm multitasking over here because I know some of you guys are kind of new to this, so you don't really know how to use the Facebook thing. But I'm telling you, this technology is amazing when you do it together. So, again, track with me and let me know what is the probability of this candle hitting this zone. So, let's just see how much this could be. Boom. So is it possible that gold could drop down another $8.80 and be at 1898.15? Let me just do a line right there so I can have that in place. Does everybody see that? So I drew in this purple line, 898.22. What is the probability of that happening? Now, talk to me, please. It's a little quiet in here, and I know how to teach. If you're getting value so far, please let me know if this makes some sense. Now, watch this. We're looking at a 4-hour time frame. What we also have to check out is what are some of the other factors? What are their institutions doing? Anybody want to know? So watch this. I'm going to switch my screen a little bit. This is a software that I pay for. It literally costs thousands, but it helps to give me an institutional perspective. And so I want to be able to show this to you right now. Now, check this out, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to give you a cheat code. Do me a favor, take out your phone's camera and take a picture of this right now. Very powerful. Take a picture. Now, what I'm looking at right now is I understand that trading is not just technical. I was showing you technical analysis, but there's also fundamental analysis. Does that make sense? The fundamental analysis comes from the institutions. So would you believe that institutions track what's going on? They understand the seasons of the market. They understand if new news is coming out. And so institutions look at the market sentiment, and the market sentiment is reserved for the understanding of what the institutions are doing. Does that make sense? And so from an institutional perspective, we're seeing that they're calling this a bearish market. Write it down. On the short term, 1898.15, midterm, 1874.77, and long term, 1851.39. Now, check this out. Without me even knowing that, I'm going to go back to the charts. Gotcha. I'm going to share back, and is my line not at 1898.22? Come on, somebody. I'm trying to teach you right now. Is my purple line not at 1898.22? Talk to me, please. Now, look how valuable of information that is, because again, when it comes to a bias, I'm not biased on how I feel. I become biased on what the market is doing. So write this down, please. The greatest indicator is price action. Write it down, please. The greatest indicator is price action. Now, team, I got my team on here as well. Is the group talking to me? Are they tracking with me right now? Does it sound like I'm angry because I got so much passion? Or is it making some sense right now? Because again, when you join our group for Connect, Trade, and Grow with Kingdom Day Traders, we're wanting to teach you how to grow and trade. But guess what, folks? You have to follow the information. You got to talk back to me. Let's keep on going. So now what I'm doing is I'm doing something called top-down analysis. Write that down, top-down. Yep. Front, back, side to side. If you're from Houston, you probably know what I'm talking about. Top-down analysis allows me to zoom in to get a broader perspective of what's going on. Now, watch this. I want to show you also something called zones within zones. So I'm going to go out there and draw this out. I'm just going to change the color. Everybody see it? Just do it purple. Purple's a royal color, one of my favorite colors. And I'm looking for the zones in here because there's a little bit of rejection. Now, I can't see that on the 4-hour time frame, but as I go down to the 1 hour, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. I see a lot more. Say this with me. The proof is in the pudding. Yeah, the proof is in the pudding. So what are you talking about, Coach? Right here, there was a lot of orders that were getting filled. And so we talk about it in our training, filled orders, unfilled orders, and it's going back and forth. Now, notice price came right back to this zone, and there's a fight going on with the bear and the bulls. Anybody want to wage on who's going to win? There's a fight going on with the bears and the bulls. Now, type in the chat, are you team bear or team bull? Let me know right now. If you were trading gold, would you be team bear or team bull? I'm going to wait for you guys to give me a response as I go ahead and check on to see what's going on. Somebody talk to me. Would you be team bear or team bull right now? Because you should have an understanding of what's going on as you're looking at this. Yep. Talk back to me, please. Now, as I dive in, watch this. I'm looking at the 1 hour. We're getting some movement back and forth. And so I want to draw down this indicator, right? This is called the MACD, right? It measures divergence. It's an isolator because it's looking to determine what the short-term movement of the market is. So anybody want a MACD? And I'm not talking about McDonald's now, the MACD. So I'm going to add it on the chart, okay? And I'm going to show you something. MACD. Oh, watch this, ladies and gentlemen. So check this out. This is an advanced retail strategy. Do me a favor. I know you'll make some money. Now, it's not 100%, so don't let nobody tell you any strategy is 100%, but I do know this. I do know you can make some money off this one. Yep. When I first started trading, this is what I used. Now, watch this. As we look at the MACD is telling us that the market was starting to trend down, and then we just got a cross. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Coaches, let me know if they can see that. But notice the red candles right now. That's called a histogram, right? A histogram. And so what it's basically saying is there's a strong likelihood that the market will be moving down. Now, watch how this aligns up. So let me see if I can remember how to do this. Okay, bear with me. There we go. So we're going to do an Alt V, which is an Alt vertical. Check me out, please. Everybody see that? Just say yes in the chat if you see it, because I want to teach right now, but I got to know if you're with me. Now, Kelly said she's team bull. Okay. Let me see somebody else because we ought to have team bear in here somewhere. So watch this, Kelly. As the market is doing that and we have this vertical line, notice that the MACD said there was going to be a sell down. So check this out, Kelly. If you would have been tracking with this and you read the rejection candle, you would have made some money. Now, Kelly, I don't know if you like to make money like I like to make money, because making money to me is fun. Now, watch this. Off of this one candle, if I would have read this correctly with the candle pattern, watch this, ladies and gentlemen, I had the potential to catch a $14 drop in gold if I would have shorted the market. Now, I wish I could see your hands right now. Who would have liked to short the market and make $14 on gold going down? Not make it, but watch it drop $14, potentially giving you thousands upon thousands or hundreds or ones. You pick which one it's going to be. Now, I want to keep on going because my theory is going to get a little bit better, but please track with me, please. Watch this. Watch this, Kelly. So right now, Kelly, I'm noticing that we're getting some rejection on here. Do you see this, Kelly? So we have the Bears that are beating the Bulls right now. It's brutal in Chicago because they got the Chicago Bulls and the Chicago Bears, right? And so there's fighting going on back and forth right now. And as traders, watch this. Our bias needs to be what the market is showing us. Write that down, please. Our bias needs to be what the market is showing us. Are you guys tracking with me, please? Do I need to come on here and get my whistle and scream at you, or are you listening to me? Come on, somebody talk to me. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to go right down to the 15-minute, and look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. It's getting better. Watch this. I'm going to speak bad English. It's getting gooder. Yep. And I got to see what's going on. So notice we have selling, Bulls try to push it up. Bears took over. And now we have the same. So then the question that we need to ask ourselves, is this a rejection candle? And if it's rejecting, what zone could it possibly go to? Now, everybody, do me a favor. Get your popcorn out. This is when it gets good. I promise you. I promise you. And if you're making money off these trades, I'm going to give you my address because I want my doggone Christmas card. Yep, I want you to say, Coach, thank you for putting some money in my pocket. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. We're in this zone at the brink of this on the 15-minute, which had just started a new candle. We have some selling going on right now. Look at this, folks. I'm about to zoom in. I want to show you something. Who sees what I'm talking about? Who sees it? So now the question is, do we wait? Do we jump in? Coach, is that enough information? Well, here's why you probably need some more information. If you're not confident in your skills, you need a whole bunch of information. Does that make sense? But practice, and the mother of all skill is repetition. Does that make sense? If you keep on practicing and practicing and practicing, and you have accountability and you're growing, you'll become a good trader. Some of us, the biggest challenge is not that we're not smart, we just don't have self control, or we just don't know what we don't know. Track with me, please. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit because I want to prove a point. I want to go to the 4 hour, right? And I'm going to remove some of these candles. I'm sorry, some of these arrows. So bear with me. Then I'm going to take that line off. And watch this, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to make sense. As a trader, when I'm looking to day trade, one of the things that I have to understand is I have to not get caught up in small movements, but I have to get the bias of the day. Write it down, please. The bias of the day. The bias of the day is going to help me understand what's the overall move of the day. Because let me just ask, has anybody been to the beach before, right? Sure, majority of people have. You constantly just get waves. You got smaller waves, you've got bigger waves, and it just goes back and forth. The market moves in like fashion, which means the market is never just going straight down or never just going straight up. It'll go up, pull back, or down, pull back, down, pull back. And so what happens is you start to get trends. So write this down, new people. Whenever you're in an up market, you get higher highs and higher lows. I'll repeat that. Higher highs and higher lows. Does that make sense? In a down market, you get lower lows and lower highs. Now, notice the key phrase is you still get highs, but the highs are not the previous highs. Are you tracking with me? So when I look at this red candle right here, what's very significant about it, write this down, please. It's not a smaller red candle. It is a big red candle. Now type this down, please. Anybody remember Clifford the Red Dog? I'm 42 years old. I'm an 80s baby. So I remember Clifford the Red Dog, right? So when you look at a big red candle, think of Clifford. Now track with me, please. One of the things that I'm going to pay attention to that keeps me in the game is I'm going to look at this low point right here. Please track with me. And I'm giving you guys some gems. Watch this. And then I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to do an Alt J. I'm going to do this in blue. Watch this, folks. This is when it gets good. Don't go anywhere. Watch this. Notice this was a low. Somebody type that down. Tell me you're taking some notes. This was a low. And then I'm going to put previous low. Everybody see it? Good. Let me make that a little bit smaller, right? So I'm not screaming at you. Boom. Everybody see that? Previous low. Notice what this candle did. It broke lower than the previous low. I'm going to say it again like I believe it. Say it with your chest. It broke lower than the previous low. So I just want to ask a question to the group. Let me know if you're tracking with me. If it broke a lower than a previous low, which low should we pay attention to? Coach, I hope they're listening over here now because I'm trying to teach. Maybe I'm going to go out there and get some coffee. I'm going to give you guys a few seconds as you're putting your thinking hats on. But which one should we pay attention to if it broke a previous low? Good. I'm waiting. Yeah, buddy. See, Coach, this is how you get to see when people were students, right? You get to see if they're responding. Now, there's a saying, I'm sure you've heard of this before. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. We need to pay attention to the current low. Everybody tracking with me? The current low. Yeah. Good job, Jared. Good job. Current low. The reason that we need to pay attention to the current low is because we don't want to be trying to swim upstream when the stream is going down. Does that make sense? Why would you go against the current? I'll even give you a better analogy. You ever seen kids play on the escalator? And I don't know what it is, but sometimes they'll try to run up the opposite direction one. Now it's fun, but as an adult, you like, I refuse to hurt my doggone self. But you can try to run up the wrong way. Well, what if I told you traders do the same exact thing? They're trying to run up the opposite direction of the escalator, and it would just be so much easier if they understood the direction that they should be following in. You guys let me know if you're getting some value today. Boy, this is 20 minutes of goodness right here. And I'll just share this with you. They paid me thousands upon thousands of dollars. I'm talking about an amazing salary people would pray for to do what I'm doing for free in this group. So please, you're getting some value. You better talk to me. So when we look at the current low and this low, watch this, shows up in our MACD on the 4-hour, this MACD cross here is significant. Write this for your notes, please. When we see a 4-hour cross on our MACD, that is significant. And we can feel good that we need to look for a downward momentum. Now, let me give them the caveat, right? This is for free right here, right? This is Lagniappe. I'm from Louisiana, right? There's a Lagniappe means something extra, right? Just because it crosses doesn't mean that it won't have some pullback. Because watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go a little bit deeper, and hopefully this is making some sense. Hopefully this is making some sense. So let me just go right here, and I'm going to blow your mind with this one. So again, how am I doing this? I'm doing an Alt-V if you're on Windows. What I'm going to do now is move this to the cross, and here's what I want to show you. This is called paying attention. Track with me, please. So let me clear this out right here. And I'm going to move rejection a little bit over. Now watch this, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to appreciate this. So watch this, traders. Please pay attention to this. Seeing that the MACD right here told me that momentum is shifting, and I'm just going to type in the word shifting. Watch this. That means if I had a bias for it to go to the upside and seeing that it was shifting below, that means at this point in time, I should have not been looking to go long. Instead, should have only been looking for opportunities to short gold or short the market. Oh, I heard somebody from Louisiana. Les de bon temps roulé. Let the good times roll. Come on, somebody. Thank you, Jared. So when I saw this cross down on the 4-hour, think about the significance of this. Do you know how long it takes for a 4-hour on the MACD to happen? A long time. So since it crossed, that tells me I need to wait for the move to kick off. Now, let me blow your mind right quick. So let me remove this out of the way. Oh, and I got to tell you guys, if you're not catching this live, make sure you type in hashtag replay if you're catching a replay on this one. This is some good stuff on a Friday. Oh, yeah. So watch this. I'm going to draw the zone, and I want to draw the zone on this particular candle. I'm just going to stretch it right there, okay? Let me put this one in, let's just go aqua blue. We do aqua for Aquaman, right? Now, here's what I'm wanting to do. I want to get more detail in this candle right here, okay? This is very significant. You see this wick, right? This big long line, we're calling it a wick. I'm wanting to see what happened inside of the wick. Type that down in the chat, please, so you can kind of have some notes for yourself, right? What happened inside of the wick? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go down to the 15-minute and look at that, ladies and gentlemen. This is so beautiful. Does everybody see this green candle, another green candle, and a red candle? And, Coach, I don't think they understand how good this is right here. Watch this, folks. Now, let me see if I can get my tool, my little ink pen tool. Like they move some of the stuff around. Okay, I'll do this instead. So right here, does everybody see this? It's almost like a U was forming. Now, here's the beautiful thing about this. We would call this a rally based drop. And I'm just going to type in these letters. You might say, what in the world was that? Stick with us long enough, get in our trainings, and we really go in. Also, I'm excited because in a couple of weeks, we're going to be doing a boot camp as well. 2 days where you get to spend time with myself, the favorite coach Chadwin, Coach Cindy, Coach Clayton. We're going to be breaking this bad boy down. 2 days, we got a workbook for you guys. And then also we have the book, which is so amazing as well, right? Like clockwork, right? Where we're able to see these setups and know that something is about to happen. Now, check this out. We have this rally based drop. And what this rally based drop is doing, it's telling us that a reversal pattern is happening. And so, because of this, for the people that have been trained, we now understand we're not looking for buys anymore. We're looking for sales. Everybody type this in the chat, please. I'm looking for sales. And I'm trying to give you some free stuff today. We're looking for sales. Now, I want to jump a little bit. I'm going to come back. But before I go, I just want to show you something. We're looking at this particular candle, but guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We're still thinking of sales. Now, track with me, please. Just because we're looking for sales does not mean that buying might not happen. Matter of fact, this might happen, right? Come on, traders, talk to me. We might get a nice pullback where this green candle goes into this zone, and then this move happens. These are the best. Anybody like getting stuff on discount? Somebody talk to me. Do we have people that just like to buy things for full price because you just like to pay full price? You just say, hey, you know what? The best type of things to buy are full price. I want to spend all my money. Just raise your hands if that's you. Type it in the chat. I want full price for everything. Now, I can't raise my hands with you because I like to get stuff on sale. So we have something that we talk about called premium and discount, where we want, if we're selling something, we want to be able to sell it at the highest point where we can make the most profit. But watch this. But if we're buying something, we want to buy it at the cheapest price so that we can make the most profit. Does that make sense? You guys track with me. So, Kelly, I think that you'll like this, Kelly. Because we've had this move and it's went outside of the zone, one of the things that I encourage students to do is let the market show its hand, right? Let's just act like we're playing spades right now. And I want to see if you're going to lose some books to me. I want to see, how many cards we can get to you. I want to play poker in the right way. And so please understand this, folks, if you're listening to the sound of my voice. The institutions are not your friend. Their job is to take your money. Put a 7 in the chat if you agree with that. Watch this, please. So now we're getting a little bit of a reversal pattern right now where we have a drop-based rally. And so instead of us just selling right now, we want to see this candle pull deep into the zone so that we can sell it down. Now you say, well, Coach, how would you know that? That's where the practice comes in. But check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Let's identify patterns. The market came right here, sold down. Watch this. The market came right here, sold down. So what's the chances that the market might come back in here to sell down? I'm going to say that's a pretty great chance. Now, one of the things that we have to maximize, though, as well, because I'm going to go to the 5 minutes, so you guys track with me, and then I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some head knowledge, okay? You guys ready? Is that I don't chase candles. Now, look what happened on the short term, and this is a perfect example on why you don't chase candles. Check me out with this one. Notice on the MACD right here on the short term, and again, this is the 5 minute. Notice that we have it crossing up. Does everybody see that? So let me just ask this question. Is it possible that you could make money on this trade going in both directions? Let me say it one more time. Is it possible on this trade that you could make money in both directions? Could you go long and could you go short? Somebody type a yes in the chat if you believe that. Or do you believe that you got to know all the moves in order to make money? Yep, you got to be sensei, right? You got to be Mr. Miyagi in order to make some money. Watch this. Somebody said Facebook use. The answer is no. You don't have to know the next move. You just have to be able to adjust. So watch this. On the short term, I can make money if my short-term objective is to scalp. Everybody type that in the chat, please, because we have some scalpers in here, or maybe you didn't even know it. And when I say scalping, let me break it down. You're looking at the 30-minute, the 15-minute chart, maybe 5. Your idea is to get in and get out. That's it. Anybody like that? You want to make some quick money, maybe a quick $100, quick $200. You just say, hey, coach, I still work, but I just need to get in and get out. Now watch this. As you develop your skill more, you'll be able to stay in longer and trade with higher time frames and make more money. So type this in the chat, please. Do you think you would be more of a long-term trader or a short-term trader? Now, as I'm doing this right now, I want us just to kind of be at a standstill. What I'm going to do for you guys, I'm going to go ahead and share this link. Gosh, let me see if I can't even do it from this side. We'll get a link to everybody. So let me just copy this. And then after, if you guys want to get a copy, let me know. So I've got the link copied. Beautiful. So I will go to the group and share the link if you guys want to copy. Okay. So what we're going to do right now is just kind of let this fester a little bit. Again, I still have a bearish bias, which I wanted to go down, but I do understand we'll see some up movement and down movement. However, it has not changed. Now, here's the thing that people usually want to ask. Coach, where would I put a stop loss? Anybody want to know that? Where would I put a stop loss? Say this with me, please. We use stop losses for all trades. Let me say it again. We use stop losses for all trades. Well, I get stopped out. That's a part of trading. But coach, I don't like losing. Don't trade. If you like swimming, that means you like to get wet. If you like to play football, I'm talking about soccer, that means you like to run. So you have to have a stop loss because you can't foretell the future. But what you can foretell is what you're willing to lose up front before you take a trade. Now, folks, let me kind of move on a little bit right now because we're running out of time. Wow, 30-some minutes has went by. 30 minutes. Watch this. So I'm going to go right back to my Edge Finder. And in this, I'm looking at the market sentiment. And so check this out. From a market sentiment perspective, a lot of retail traders are going long and institutions. However, on the short term, we're seeing that we're getting a bearish signal. Now, you might be saying, man, if I just had what you're looking at, my trading will change. And I would say, well, hold up. You still need to understand candles and structure and market sentiment and fundamentals so that you can put it all together. But this definitely helps out to kind of shape my concerns. Now, notice based on all of this information from the data, retail sentiment, seasonality, trend reading, gross domestic product, inflation, unemployment, interest rates, what, coach, all of that stuff goes in trades? Absolutely. Based on all of this information, it's giving a bearish signal. Put a 7 if that makes some sense. Now, I want to go ahead and shift a little bit, right? This is going to be very quick because I want to have some clear objectives. So please dive with me because I believe that this is going to help you out, right? This is where we kind of segment and we take all the information that I just gave and we take it all in. And before I do, you guys talk to me. Are you enjoying this trading? Are you enjoying our new show, Fixing the Trading Thing? Just let me know if you enjoy this. Good. Come on. I'm going to wait for you guys on this one. I'm going to catch my breath right quick. I'm checking a trade. Yep. Okay. Looks good. And then I want to go over this because there's questions that new traders and existing traders need to be able to answer. Does that make sense? Now, I'm seeing some of the same people responding. We have 11 to 12. I know some people that work with us. So if you haven't responded, but you're still in this group, guess what? I need you to respond. This is equivalent to you coming in my house, right? I'm giving you some of my food. I made a drink for you, and you don't even tell me thank you. How crazy would that be? You're coming into our group. I want to trade you. But the only thing that I ask is you just say, yes, it makes some sense just to help me out. Is that fair? So if you can tell by my tone, I'm a coach. And I just want to be very clear with this. If you're in this group, I have expectations of you. I expect you to participate. I expect you to show up. I expect you to hold yourself to a standard. Does that make sense? So quickly, we're going to go over this attitude survey. I want you to be real with yourself. And then from there, when we do the next broadcast, we're going to start to build up on this. Now, as I go through this, I'm going to kind of make an announcement and I want to show the best way for this to work. And here's why we created this. We know there's a lot of information seekers. There's so much stuff on the doggone internet, my gracious, that we don't even know where to go to. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We wanted to be that beacon of hope. That's why we're called Kingdom Day Traders. One thing you need to understand if you're in this group, we're Christians, we're believers, man. We believe that trading is a means to help you walk in purpose and build God's kingdom. We don't apologize for that. We believe that if you can fix the trading thing and you can get an accountability coach and sit down and develop a strategy, you literally could become that trader that you're hoping and praying for. But guess what? You got to take action. So let's keep on going. So I'm going to ask questions. You write them down. To make money as a trader, you must know what the market is going to do. Yes. Next. Do you agree or disagree? Number two, sometimes I find myself that there must be a way to trade without having to take a loss. Anybody feeling like this? Man, if I just study a bunch, I'll never lose. I know NFL players that have been playing since kids and they still drop the ball, quarterbacks that still throw in an interception, NBA players that still miss a layup, baseball players that still strike out, soccer players that miss the goal completely. And so as a trader, you'll still lose. Ha, ta-da. But coach, I don't want to lose. I understand. What I can tell you, which is truth, is that you can get good where you start to limit some of those losses, but you can also maximize that risk where you're in control of that. Let's keep on going. Making money as a trader is primarily the function of analysis. Losses are unavoidable, a component of trading. Agree or disagree? My risk is always defined before, capital B, I enter a trade. Coach, I'm getting fired up because this stuff is good. In my mind, there's always a cost associated with finding out what the market may do next. Agree or disagree? Oh, I wanted to say this as well. If you want a copy of this handout, just type in the chat, copy. I want a copy, and we'll get a copy to you as well. Yep. We'll message you, get you on the call, send this to your email, and that way you can start to build up your portfolio of information. Let's keep on going. 7, I won't even bother putting on a trade if I wasn't sure that it was going to be a winner. That's a good one. There's a book that we give all of our students called Trading in the Zone. Yep. And we'll talk about that more in the boot camp, but it's a phenomenal book. And it talks about that it's not one trade, but a series of trades. Let me keep on going. Number 8, the more a trader learns about the markets and how they behave, the easier it will be for him or her to execute his or her trades. That's good. That's good. I have to stop right quick because something just happened. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me shift. Let me shift. Let me share gold. Look at that, folks. Look what happened on the short term. Gold has jumped up. It just went back into the zone. Anybody seeing why I just did that? Notice I said that I'm still bearish. Now watch this, 5 minute, and there's a reason that I did this, and I am glad that this happened. Watch this. I'm going to zoom out, and look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We see that this candle wants to go back into the zone. Are we starting to see why we don't chase candles even though it was going down? So I want you to get this gem, and this is so powerful that it happened while we were on this training. You pray for stuff like this to happen whenever you're a trainer. Is that if a big move has already happened, please listen to me. Don't just jump in like the masses do. Wait for that move to pull back. Come on, pay attention with me on Kelly. Wait for it to pull back so that you can still sell it down. Does that make sense? Somebody talk to me, please. Wait for the pullback. Good. Let me get back to the training. I just had to share that because if I didn't share that, you would say, Coach, something happened. Can you give me the commentary on that? Beautiful. Let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. My methodology tells me exactly under what market conditions to either enter or exit a trade. Yeah. Your edge, your method. Do you know what to do when the market goes in a direction that you didn't want? Can you get out? Or are you looking like this at the market? Let me know if I'm speaking to you. How many times have you been in a trade that it's gotten so doggone bad that literally you're paralyzed because you can't take a loss that big? I know I'm speaking to you because that's what we're marketing to. You know you should get out. The markets are telling you that you should get out. But yet you refuse because you didn't have an exit strategy. You just had a hope strategy. You're just hoping that it gets better. But guess what, folks? It's getting worse and worse and worse. And let me predict what happens next. You end up blowing that account. And then you know who you blame it on? It was the market's fault. If the market would have just listened to you, you would have made the money. Let me help you out, ladies and gentlemen. Professional traders don't trade like that. And maybe you traded like that before you joined this group. But you stick with us long enough, we're going to break those bad habits. Number 10, even when I have a clear signal to reverse my position, I find it extremely difficult to do. Am I speaking to you right now? Man, this is good, coach. I hope they hear the passion. Yeah, they thought I was just going to be some boring teacher reading off a PowerPoint. Or you thought that we just had an ad that we ran and we didn't know what we were doggone talking about. Let me give you a secret. You don't get on stage if you don't know what you're talking about. I'm not bragging. I'm just teaching facts right here. And my hope is to help people who want to be helped. Let's keep on going, and then we'll go ahead and end the broadcast. 11, I have sustained periods of consistent success, usually followed by some drastic drawdowns in my equity. Is that you? 12, when I started trading, I would describe my trading method as haphazard, meaning some success in between a lot of pain. Joy and pain. I wish I could sing. Sunshine. Yeah, you ain't singing sunshine when you're losing, are you? But you know what's crazy? Is that when you win, it actually gives a euphoric feeling. How crazy that dopamine actually goes off in your mind. There's traders that are getting high. And that's what keeps you in the game. Yeah, keeps you in the game. You know, I don't want to talk and hit any points, but this is wisdom, man. I've been around addicts. I've seen people that can be addicted to many different things. And for people that are not addicts, the crazy thing is, to the outside, you just say, just stop. Just put down the cigarette, man. Put down the drink, man. Just stop doing those things. But it's something that keeps on pulling them towards it. It's the dopamine. They're chasing that previous high. And so a lot of traders are like that hamster running on a wheel. And guess what, folks? They're getting nowhere fast. Listen to me. In order for that to change, you have to change. Am I speaking some truth? Let's keep on going. 13, I often find myself feeling that the markets are against me personally. Anybody suffering from woe is me? Yeah, it's a universal, disease. Woe is me. And you know what's funny? Woe is me likes to hang around woe is us. When you're losing, you want to get around other people that are losing. You know why? So you can have a losing coffee break. Yeah, man, those markets. Talking at the water cooler. No, let me give you a secret. If you want to win, get around winners. Change your confession. Speak with faith. Get coaching. Get accountability. Hosea 4:6 says, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. But coach, I've paid for stuff before. I mean, I've been hurt before. The reality is that we've all been hurt. The reality is that we have to seek this stuff, and we got to keep on going until we get the breakthrough. Put a 10 in the chat if you're a person that doesn't quit. Yep, because I don't attract people that quit. I attract people that have tenacity. I attract people that want to keep on pushing forward. I attract people in this particular group that will have a breakthrough. You've been praying and you've been believing that, God, I am going to do my part. Let me know if that's you. And if that's not you, guess what? Keep on hanging with us. And I promise you're going to start sounding like me in a couple of weeks. You're going to mess around and believe. Side note, folks, I wear this hat all the time. I got this one and a black one. And you know why? I'm trying to send a subliminal message to you to believe, because I speak faith. I live in faith. I mix my faith with my business, and the two are the same. How about that? Let's keep on going. We're almost finished. Number 14. As much as I try to let go, I find it very difficult to put past emotional wounds behind me. Look at that, folks. You know what's crazy is that some of us have heart issues, meaning that you need to offer forgiveness. Come on, somebody. I heard this quote a long time ago. It said, harboring unforgiveness, watch this, is equivalent to me drinking poison and expecting you to die. That's deep. So that means when you harbor unforgiveness against somebody and you're wanting them to feel like you feel, and you're expecting them for something bad to happen to them, or for you to get even for what they did to you, what tends to happen is you're the one that gets hurt. You're the one with the ulcers. You're the one that's in depression. You're the one that's losing sleep. You say, what in the world does that have to do with trading? Everything. Because some of you have lost large sums of money and you haven't forgiven yourself in 2008. Nope. Some of you have been trading and you've bought many different programs. You were following different gurus, and now you haven't forgiven yourself and you can't move on. You're trapped in time because you haven't forgiven. So I want to give you permission today to forgive you. And guess what? I'm going to be Christian right now and tell you also to turn the other cheek. Because the Bible says, how can you say that you love me whom you've never seen, but you haven't forgiven your brother, your sister, the person that hurt you? You say, Coach, wow, I didn't expect all of this. That's fine. But I'm trying to give you some gems on how you can be free. Because I've learned in my life, in order for things to flow, I have to unclog things where it's getting stuck. Anybody ever had to pull hair out of the drain, the gunk that's in the drain? But guess what? When it can flow, the water can just flow through. And so some of us, from a spiritual perspective, we need to get some emotional healing, because that emotional healing affects all areas of life. Number 15, and then I'm done. I have a money management philosophy that is founded in the principle of always taking some money out of the market when the market makes it available. Now, for some people, that's a double-edged sword. We have some people, a little money shows they take it because they're operating out of lack, and they're operating that I don't have enough, I just got to go ahead and get it. Does that make sense? And then some people can allow the money to run because they operate in abundance. They understand that the market has more than enough. I choose to believe the latter. I choose to see myself as a kingdom citizen where God is the owner of 1,000 hills, that the silver and gold are his, that for believers, he set aside where we can have abundance. Watch where I'm going with this one. Not to say, look at my house, look at my car, but he needs people to believe that can fund his ministries, to make an impact to their neighbors. That's how we see it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to go out there and say these 3 words. And as you follow us throughout the weeks, we're going to keep on echoing this. So say this with me, please. Mindset, multiplication, and management. We call it the M3 strategy. The mindset is a kingdom mindset. It's abundance. It's seeing yourself as a trader. It's getting out of the lack mentality. It's personal development. It's walking in a way to be able to occupy a space. And a space that we're wanting to occupy is being day traders. Watch this. The second M, multiplication. Proverbs says that he gives us the ability to create wealth with our hands. It's taking the knowledge and using this knowledge to pull wealth. Woo, I'm going somewhere with this. Anybody like that? Well, coach, I'm not about all the money stuff. That's fine, but you should be. You know how many people hate what they do for a living? You know how many people will work at a job 20, 30, 40 years to feel like, what did I do with my time? How awesome would it be if you learned a skill where you could become free to do what you were called to do? Thus, the idea fixing the trading thing, which also is fixing the money thing. And the last M, and then I'm finished after this one, is management. Watch this, folks. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. Are you a good steward over what money has went through your hand? Or are you being foolish? Because some of us are operating as if we're gambling and we're not treating trading as a business. And because we don't treat it as a business, we treat it like it's just something that we'll just check out every now and then. We get every now and then profits. We don't have anybody we're accountable to. And so I want to challenge you. If you've gotten any value out of this broadcast, which I know that I bring good value, the next step is to set up a time where we can go through building a trading plan with you and your profit calculator, and you can sit down with the coach. Period. Yeah, I'm not into all of that. I'm kind of an island trader. Well, that's the problem. You'll be an island loser. I'm going to call a spade because statistics don't lie. People that have groups and accountability and are working towards a common goal win, and isolated people who don't have a foundation, they lose. Documentation beats conversation. During this call, we're going to go over your information, and then we're going to give you an option if you want to join our 2-day boot camp. Because let's be real, I'm talking for about 52 minutes, but I can't teach you how to trade on a quick broadcast. That takes time, which brings me to my last point of management. Manage your expectations. You can't randomly give the market 3 hours, but you want to make a 40-hour per week income. How crazy does that sound? You can't become a trader unless you understand what the institutions are doing so you can mirror those steps. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been my time. I'm so grateful for everybody that joined today. If you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay. And also, if there's something that you need help with, just put it in the chat. We're going to have my team kind of comb through it. We'll reach out to you. And we definitely want to be a benefit to you, pending that you show up to the game. With that being said, be blessed on purpose. Have an amazing weekend. Cheers. God bless.